So I'm going to talk about skin health. I'm not going to talk about makeup. I'm more going to talk about skin health and the beauty and the health of skin specifically. And of course, if you know me, I'll throw some twists in there, and I'll probably throw some biblical stuff in there. Actually, I'm going to start with that. So I just like to do that. And then Jen is going to talk specifics about the Laguna makeup line, which we think is the purest makeup line in the world. And most of the makeup lines who claim to be pure and natural and mineral-based and blah, blah, blah are mostly full of it because of the standards, especially the poor standards in America. And they're a German company, so their standards are totally different. And Jen's going to explain all of that and how their makeup not only isn't damaging, but it's actually nourishing and healing to the skin and to the body, which is like a foreign concept to most any other makeup line. So on that note, have you started yet? Oh, you already started. Okay, so we're already recording. So skin health. So I want to talk about skin and health and beautiful skin, but of course I want to talk in the beginning a little bit of a deeper understanding of beauty, and not just about skin, of course, how God tells us that we're beautiful. And I have to throw that in there because it's so important, because we live in such a culture of outward beauty. Everybody's trying to look beautiful and wear makeup and take care of their skin. And I'm not saying those are bad things. Those are good things, but there's a deeper beauty within us. We all know that. The skin is an outward reflection of your internal health. I think that's the most important thing for people to understand, is your skin is an outward reflection of internal health. So when people have skin issues and they have eczema and psoriasis and rosacea and really bad acne, like, it's a big deal to them, not just because it's like, gosh, I just don't like how it looks, but they know that it's probably not ideal for the health of their body. Like, they know that something's not right. And what's tough for me to see, especially as a healthcare practitioner and seeing a lot of families and a lot of children, is seeing children that are 1 month old, 6 months old, 2 years old, with rashes over their whole bodies, and eczema so bad that they're bleeding and itching and they can't sleep at night. And it's really sad, because it wasn't their choice to have horrible skin. It's the result of the poor choices we've made over the last few generations, and this culture we've created of, sickness and not stewarding our bodies, our internal bodies properly, and processed foods, etc. So again, the skin is an outward reflection of our internal health. So actually having nice skin is really, it might sound a little bit funny, but it's really the first step to having good health inside of our bodies. Because the way God designed the body is the skin is the largest organ, and the body will use the skin as an excretion organ to get rid of toxins and get rid of waste. But the thing is, it doesn't want to, and it shouldn't have to. Because if the colon's doing its job and the kidneys are doing its job and the lymphatic system is cleaning the blood and eliminating waste out through the kidneys, and if the liver's doing its job, we should never have eruptions and things going on in the skin. I mean, what was one of the worst diseases biblically? What's the worst disease talked about in biblical time? Leprosy, right? And what was that? What was the clear sign of leprosy? The skin. The skin. It's like the flesh just wasting away. So it's not just like some foreign critter attacked the skin and is eating the skin. It was the person's internal health was so riddled with sickness and disease that it was consuming the person from the inside out. And that's what's actually happening in our culture today, is people's internal health is so poor that it's reflecting in the skin. And this isn't to make anyone feel guilty or ashamed, especially if they don't have good skin. Because again, a 1-year-old didn't choose to have poor skin when they have eczema and psoriasis and these kind of things. And most of us, this generation, and my generation for sure, and everyone since then, and even probably the generation a little bit before me, like my parents, although not quite as much, are suffering from birth, from poor health, that might manifest when you're 6 months or 1 year or 2 year, but it might manifest when you're a teenager, in your 20s, or in your 30s. It's hitting people earlier and earlier and earlier. The scripture I want to share, because again, I want to share the true importance of beauty, is 1 Peter 3 and 4. And it says, "Your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyles and the wearing of gold jewelry or fine clothes, but it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight." And so we all know that, especially if we're struggling with our external beauty, we all need to have that assurance that the true beauty is on the inside. We've all heard that a million times, that beauty is on the inside. But it's really true. And I want to use this scripture not just in relation to the spirit within us that should be beautiful regardless of our outward appearance, but also do we not thank God, our creator, our designer, that we're designed in his image? The liver he gave us, the colon he gave us, the thyroid he gave us, the skin he gave us. He designed us in his image. I still have no concept or grid for that. I don't know if anyone else does. But we are to be the reflection of the beauty of God. And so that's why we want to look beautiful. We desire to look beautiful. We know that God created us and we should look beautiful. We're a beautiful creation. But do we not think that God just as he cares more about our internal spirit than our outward appearance, do we not also think that he cares more about the health of our internal organs than he does our skin? I mean, we have spent millions upon billions upon trillions of dollars with cosmetics and surgeries and creams and all this thing to make our skin beautiful. And again, I'm not saying those are bad things. Well, I'm not a big fan of cosmetic surgery maybe, but there might be a time and a place for it. But he cares so much more about the health of our liver and our kidneys and our pancreas and our internal organs, because we can look beautiful on the outside and literally be dying of sickness and disease and wasting away. I see so many people in my office over and over again that their story, this is their story. Nobody would know I'm sick. Nobody would know I'm sick. By looking at me, nobody would ever know I'm sick. But every day is a struggle just to live, just to survive. I'm so fatigued. I'm in such chronic pain. They have all these issues going on, yet they look great on the outside. And so again, it's not about outward beauty. It's about inward beauty in the spirit, but also in our physical bodies. And if you look at other systems of medicine, like Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, they really talk about internal health, and it's about the internal health, and the skin is an outward reflection of that. If you know anybody, I used to live in Las Vegas, and Las Vegas is a pretty interesting place. I came to know Jesus while living in Las Vegas, believe it or not. And Vegas needs Jesus, I'll just say that. But it's really interesting living in Las Vegas because there were so many types of people. And living in the desert, there were a lot of people there who were raw foodists and raw vegans. And I don't want to make this a conversation about the perfect diet. Yes, my dear. What do you have? Pineapple. Oh, can you show it to Mama? A lot of times we make health about, eating some perfect diet. We can certainly get legalistic about it. It's about meat. It's not about meat. It's about this. It's about that. Let's just say I know I had a lot of friends in Las Vegas who were raw foodists and vegans. And you could tell which of them were doing it right and which of them were not doing it right. And one of the ways you could tell is just by their health. Because you can be a raw foodist or a vegan or a vegetarian and label yourself and be all proud of that and be a complete and total junk food addict and a sugar addict. And in fact, I don't want to say all, but the majority of people who don't eat meat And they might have good reasons for that, moral, and I honor that. I think that's awesome if you don't do that. But a lot of them are sugar addicts and carb addicts, and they're extremely unhealthy. But I also had friends in Las Vegas who were vegans and vegetarians who ate a lot of raw foods. Now trust me, it's a lot easier to do that in Las Vegas and Phoenix, Arizona, and California than it is in the Midwest. I have not become a raw foodist or a vegan, although I love and promote raw foods. You've heard me talk about it in my classes all the time. I like eating with the seasons, and I think that's perfectly okay. But I had friends in Vegas who were raw foodists and vegans who were not addicted to sugar, who were not addicted to carbs, and they did not look their age, not even close. I had a friend who was 55, and if you saw him, you probably would guess he's 35. And I'm not even kidding. And if you read other books about, raw vegans and people who are living this lifestyle and eating really clean diets, and again, it doesn't have to be about whether you eat meat or not, eating really clean diets, you will not look your age. You will look much younger. And it is an outward reflection of God's perfect beauty and creation and design. And that's okay. And again, if you were born with, what would I call it, a bad hand, which a lot of us were. If you were born with a bad hand, God's a redemptive God. He's a healer. He's Jehovah Rapha. He wants to break off generational sin and sickness and disease. He wants to restore fullness and health and healing. And that's what he's put in my heart and my spirit, is that he wants to heal us body, soul, and spirit. And I firmly believe he's really highlighted the body to me, because I think most of the body of Christ has forgotten that we live in a body that can degenerate and that can fall apart and that can die of diseases. Even if we love Jesus with all of our heart, that is just the reality of it. So I just wanted to share that God cares more about our internal organs than he even cares about our outward beauty. And so the skin is the largest organ. Again, skin conditions are a sign, a symptom, a signal of something not quite right. If you've struggled with acne your whole life, something's not quite working right in your system. And one of the nicknames of the skin, if you haven't heard this, is called the third kidney. They call the skin the third kidney. And so let me just briefly explain the process of how the elimination system works in the body, and then I'm going to run you through the skin cleanse that we have. That's just on our website for free. People can choose to do it if they want to or not, but it's a quick way to cleanse your skin. And so the way the elimination system works in the body, it's metabolism. We've all heard of that. Like, I got slow metabolism, I got fast metabolism. Like, what does that even mean? It's just the simple process of how your body takes a food, breaks it down, converts things into energy, and gets rid of the waste. It's like a factory. Okay? A factory has to take in raw materials, it has to turn it into something pretty, and there's a little bit of waste byproduct. So the cleaner you eat, the healthier you are, the less waste byproduct, and the more finished goods, which is energy and life force. Okay? Most of us don't do that. We eat processed foods, we eat junk foods, we eat too much, we overeat, we're eating all day long, we're eating processed foods, we're putting too much stuff in the factory, there's way too much waste to be eliminated, and there's no energy and there's no positive output because of all the wrong things and the overconsumption of the foods that we're eating. And so you can eat very little food and have unbelievable energy. And almost everybody I experience and almost everybody I know that when they go on a juice fast, they're shocked 3, 4, 5 days in about, oh my gosh, I can't believe how much energy I have. How is this even possible? I'm not eating. I'll never forget a girl I was working with in Minnesota was 11 days into her juice fast, and she called me and she goes, Vaughn, this sounds crazy, but I don't ever want to eat again. Like, I haven't felt this good in 20 years. So there's real power to fasting and minimizing the amount of food we eat and cleansing the body. So that's the process of metabolism. We eat food. Everything that we eat has a metabolic waste. Cows poop, so do deer, so do elephants, so do mice. I mean, that's just God's creation. Things go in, energy's produced, and then waste goes out. And so we all have this process of metabolism. But we have the colon, we have the kidneys to excrete acidic waste, we have the lymphatic system to keep the blood purified, to pull waste out of the blood, move it through something called interstitial fluid to get into the lymph and out through the kidneys. And we have a liver. Every single thing that enters the body that goes into the bloodstream has to be cycled by the liver. So the body has multiple systems of protection to keep us healthy and well. And it's only when those systems have broken down that the skin is going to start being used as an elimination organ. Okay, so again, I just want to paint this clear picture that if there's a skin issue, there's a kidney issue, there's a digestion issue, there's a liver issue. I can't tell you which one specifically or if it's a combination of the three, but there's definitely a gut and digestion issue for sure. And there could also be some kidney backup. There could also be some liver issues. You know, liver spots that appear on people's skin isn't aging. It's a congested liver and the body starting to move the toxins out through the skin. Okay, it's not just like, oh, it's just something that happens to everybody as they get old. Some people get liver spots when they're 80, and some people start getting liver spots in their 40s. It's not to do with aging. It's to do with the internal health of the body. And as it gets toxic, again, the body starts to use the skin as an elimination organ. So I hope I made that clear. So the best way to clean up your skin is to take the stress and the burden off of your elimination organs that have been stressed out and likely suffocating for many, many, many years. And this is why people go to juicing. This is why people go to raw foods. This is why people are turning away from dairy and grains and sugar and all the heavy processed foods. Because it's not, yes, it's about quality food, but it's not all about the food. It's about not overburdening and overstressing this body that God gave us. It's not designed to intake all of that. And so when you take the burden off of those elimination organs, they catch up. And when the elimination organs catch up and the waste starts to be eliminated, the body goes, great, I don't have to use the skin anymore. And so again, that's a good first step to know you're getting well, is when your skin clears up. When I've seen a lot of people with really bad cases of eczema and psoriasis, and I try to make it very clear to them that when your eczema is completely gone, because it will. There's no reason it shouldn't. Doesn't matter if you've had it for 20 years. When your eczema is completely clear, you are not healed. Okay, we want to believe that this outward reflection of this disease, like as soon as it's gone, we're healed. That is the beginning of you getting better. Because again, the organs are backed up and congested in the system. And people go, wow, my eczema cleared up, praise God. I can go back to eating all the stuff that I love. And guess what? It comes right back. And they go, man, I thought I was healed. Or I thought God healed me. I guess God didn't really heal me. You know, how many people have been healed miraculously by God, yet the illness or sickness or disease came back? Okay, God loves to heal. It's the nature of who he is. But he also loves people who learn to be obedient and walk in alignment with his creation and his design. And so we have to be stewards of our body. You know, when Jesus healed sick people, he didn't just say, you know, you're healed, see you later. He said, stop sinning or something worse might happen to you. Do you remember that statement? Okay? We don't see food as sin. Okay? So if we eat different, change our body, change our health, heal sickness and disease, we should continue to walk in that gift that God just gave us. Not go back to Babylon. That's my joke. But we all done it. I've done it 100 times, so I'm not up here as like some saint or something. Okay, I'm telling you this because I've walked through it, and I'm in the battle, and I'm in the war. I'm going way deeper than just talking about skin health, but I don't know. It's just what's in my spirit today. So anyway, let's walk through the skin cleanse. Does that make sense on the skin and how it's really an outward reflection of our internal health? God cares much more about the contents of your heart and the cleanliness of your liver and the fact that your lymphatic system is cleaned out way before he cares about how healthy your skin is. Because again, those organs being congested, you can still have beautiful looking skin and have sickness and disease. So we need to get beyond that. So how to clear up skin, the first step is just eating clean. Now, I put in the little skin cleanse here, if you want to clean up your skin, the fastest, and to get a quick jump start on healing your body, do a 5-day juice fast. This is just a 5-day quick, simple cleanse. 5-day juice fast. What you're doing is you're taking out grains, you're taking out sugar, you're taking out dairy, you're taking out meat, you're taking out everything acidic, you're taking out all the common allergenic foods, and you're taking all the stress off, again, the colon, the kidneys, the liver, and it's going to give those organs a chance to catch up. Now, you don't have to juice fast. You can eat fruits and vegetables, and if you want to eat, some lean meat, some chicken, some turkey, some fish, if you want to eat a few healthy fats, some avocado, olives, healthy fats are very good for the skin. They're amazing for the skin. Everybody's heard about the benefits of olives and olive oil and flax and different things for the skin, fish oil. So you can include those things, but we got to get out the grains, the dairy, the sugar, and overeating meat because it's acidic. Doesn't mean you can't eat small portions of it. So in the food guidelines, I put 80% fruits and vegetables, and anything else you eat, just keep it clean. Nuts, seeds, lean meats, healthy fats. And then I put the best foods for the skin cleanse. And then the supplements I chose, I'll just go through this fairly quickly. Capelli, this is a hair, skin, and nail formula. So the skin is really interesting, but it's this, it's composed of something called the collagen matrix. And the key components of the collagen matrix are amino acids, minerals, and vitamin C. So if you think about it, we're dust of the earth. All those things come through plants that grow out of the earth. I mean, that's how God designed us. So all of our bones, joints, ligaments, connective tissues, skin, hair, nails, all those things are composed of that collagen matrix. And so the Capelli has in it foods that are high in silica and high in minerals. Like, have you known somebody who was, I'm just picking out this one people group, but like, you know, Asians, how they don't age? You know, they're like 80 and they got like perfect skin. I mean, is part of it genetics? Yeah. Is part of it their diet and lifestyle? Absolutely. It just shows you that everybody doesn't have to get old, look old, you know. We can look young still, even into old age. But they actually eat a lot of soups. They put a lot of bamboo in their food. There's bamboo in this formula. Bamboo is really high in silica. That's what gives it that strength and integrity. So horsetail, bamboo, diatomaceous earths, things that are high in silica are very good for the hair, skin, and nails. But it brings that strength and that integrity of the skin. But you'll also notice a difference in your hair and in your nails. B vitamins. There's biotin in here. That's the main B vitamin that women especially know to take for hair, skin, and nails. All B vitamins are important, but biotin's incredibly important. It's got hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid is what's in the joints that cushion the joints. You know how people get bone-on-bone cartilage? Well, their knees and their elbows and everything gets acidic. The acids deteriorate and waste away their cartilage, and then they get the bone-on-bone. That's not a normal process. Again, we got to remember that God is pretty cool in his design. So it's not a normal process to get degenerative knees or degenerative back or whatever it is. So that hyaluronic acid coats the joints and soothes the joints. It's like the synovial fluid that helps the joints move, but that hyaluronic acid is also in your skin. And it keeps your skin like supple. And it keeps your skin from like bouncing back. One way you can know you have healthy skin is if you pull it up and you let go, it should snap right back. And if it's kind of like, you know, you got some work to do. But if you pull it and it snaps right back, then that means you have healthy skin. I'm just throwing that out there. So vitamin C, a crucial component to that collagen matrix. Vegetal silica, this is from horsetail. So with taking silica, you'll notice a difference in your hair, skin, and nails. And then Chlorofresh, which is a liquid chlorophyll, which is a blood cleanser. And one of the keys to having healthy skin is cleaning your blood. So, and they also call this an internal deodorant, because if you keep your blood clean, you won't have as much body odor. They actually advertise it for that. I think that's kind of funny. So those are some of the main components to the strength, the integrity of the skin. The diet mainly is what's going to take the pressure off the elimination organs so that the skin can start to just stop having to eliminate the excessive stuff coming out the body. Now, the other part that you can do in the skin cleanse is I really encourage dry skin brushing. You know, like I'm a guy and I exfoliate, right? I'm being silly. Nobody's laughing. Okay, so this is like the best way to exfoliate on the planet. It's scraping off dead skin cells off the body, but it's not just that. It's actually stimulating lymph, nerves, blood vessels that are all attached to the skin. All of these things are attached to the skin, and they come right up to the surface of the skin. So it's going to stimulate blood flow and movement, which is going to heal the skin faster, and then also it's going to scrape off all those dead skin cells. And so part of the skin cleanse, if you wanted to do it, is you dry skin brush, you get one of these brushes, you just do short or long strokes, towards the heart, all over your body, and then up the feet, up your legs. And it can be like a 2-3 minute thing. It doesn't have to consume your day. Just do it a couple of minutes before you take a shower. It's a dry skin brush. Dry skin brush, not a wet skin brush. It's a dry skin brush. I get that question all the time, like, I don't even think of that. Like, do you do it in the shower or after the shower? It's a dry skin brush. So that's going to give you the most stimulation on your skin. And women know that if you exfoliate, you have prettier skin. You get rid of the dead skin cells, right? So then you dry skin brush and then you take a bath. And I gave 2 options for the bath. One is a bath with just bentonite clay. Because bentonite clay, like, you can go to the spa and spend like $80 for somebody to put a mud mask on your face, or you can buy it at a health food store for like $5-10 and make one at home. It's really not that hard. But the clay pulls and draws toxins and poisons off the skin and out of the body. One of my favorite stories is when Jen and I first met, she actually got a brown recluse spider bite. Remember that, honey? And it was spreading through her leg. It was turning purple and black. It kills your skin, the poison from those spiders. We took bentonite clay, made a mud, put it on there, wrapped it in plastic. Overnight, we got up the next morning, you could barely see anything was even left. It almost completely took it away overnight. That's the drawing power of bentonite clay. And so you can do clay on your body. You can do clay on any, even shingles or any kind of skin condition and wrap it, and it'll pull all those toxins and poisons. It's very soothing to the skin as well. But you can take a bath in it as well, and it's going to pull and draw toxins out of the body. There's a testimonial in the Body Ecology diet. She was working with autistic children. Her son took a clay bath and went up after the bath, went up to her parents and said his first sentence that he'd ever spoke his entire life. He was 5 years old. After the clay pulled toxins and waste out of his body. So there's a reason children and people are suffering from these issues. The other bath option is magnesium, Himalayan pink salt, or any kind of good sea salt, and baking soda. Also very good for the skin. For many reasons, for alkalization, just for exfoliation. The magnesium opens up and dilates the skin and opens up detoxification pathways. Yes?
All 3 together?
Yeah.
What was it again? Magnesium?
It's on the sheet, but it's magnesium, bath crystals, sea salt, and baking soda.
Okay.
Yep. Or just doing the clay. And then the only other part of the skin cleanse I included are optional things. One is a black drawing salve. You can put this on any kind of abnormal growth, skin cancer, any weird, nasty thing on your skin you don't want, it'll make it go away. And what you do is you put it on there and you put a Band-Aid over it, and you might even wrap it. It's black, so you certainly don't want this on your bed sheets or anything, but it is powerful. This stuff will pull out. I had a gal who had a skin cancer on her nose, and the doctor wanted to have it removed. And I just told her to put this on it every single day, and she did it in 1 month. The thing literally just fell off. Sometimes it'll come out of the body like a plug because it'll kill it at the root, and it'll just pop out of the body. And so that's black drawing salve. That's for heavy-duty, nasty, weird, gross stuff on your skin. The olive gold, we nicknamed this Jesus in a bottle because when we first started using it, it like worked for everything. We have this in our house. Jen was dumping some boiling water one time. The water splashed up on her chest, and that can be a pretty big deal. And she had enough sense to grab the olive gold out of the cupboard, slather it all over her chest, and then within a few hours, all you could see was the one little tiny red mark where she didn't happen to get the olive gold. It's like she didn't even get burned. And anytime we get burned on a pot pan, we grab it, put it on there, and it's like you didn't even get burned. It's crazy. So this is ozonated olive oil. There's oxygen or ozone in the olive oil. I have a friend who's a chiropractor. His daughter had ringworm. Tried every cream salve that the doctor gave them. Spent like $500. He says, Vaughn, what do you got? I said, why don't you try this olive gold stuff? Put it on his daughter. It was gone in 2 days. It's never come back. So oxygen, like Genesis 2:7, breath of life, like it's extremely powerful. Olive oil and oxygen together. And the reason, again, I'm highlighting this to you is because it works on almost every skin condition in some way. It's amazing on acne, So this is for like any skin condition, burns, wounds, even like I said, ringworm. Again, the black drawing salve is for heavy duty stuff. And so you can read through the skin cleanse. It's a 5-day quick cleanse. If you just want to clear up acne, if you got itchy eczema or psoriasis, you can do the 5-day cleanse. But the question is, what are you doing after that? And you want to eat a clean diet. And you might have gut problems. You might have digestive problems, which means, I'm sorry, it might be a while until you heal your gut, that you can't do grains, you can't do sugars, you can't do dairy, because if you start to add those foods back in, guess what? It comes right back. Okay? And it's not because your skin is faulty. It's because your gut or something in your internal organs isn't working the way God designed it to work. We have to heal that first, then the skin won't have to eliminate those wastes. So I'm going to end there and let my beautiful wife come and talk about Lagona and their makeup line. And I'm going to mic her up too, as much as she may or may not like that. Can you stop the camera, Seth?